Welcome to this explainer. Did you know that in traditional global logistics, nearly 30% of a truck driver's time can be entirely wasted just waiting in line at congested facilities? Today, we're focusing on this massive challenge that literally hides in plain sight. We're going to explore how we can completely transform complex analog industries using some seriously powerful digital tools. We're diving into the physical world of logistics, ports, warehouses, transport yards, and looking at how new tech is bridging the gap between physical chaos and digital order. Let's get right into it.
To really grasp the scale of this problem, we've got to look at the sheer volume of activity here. Every single day, ports, warehouses, and logistics yards are coordinating thousands of vehicle movements. Just imagine the continuous chaotic flow of massive trucks entering, parking, unloading, and exiting. It's this non-stop, heavily orchestrated dance that really forms the physical backbone of our global supply chain. But despite that massive scale and the huge stakes of these operations.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the harsh contrast we're looking at. On one side, you have the reality of how a lot of these yards still operate today. They rely heavily on incredibly archaic analog tools. Think physical paperwork on clipboards, fragmented radio communication filled with static spreadsheets, and human judgment that, let's face it, is prone to fatigue and error. And on the other side, you see the direct, unavoidable operational results of using those outdated tools. We're talking poor visibility across the yard, massive dock congestion, agonizingly long turnaround times for drivers, and ultimately, deeply costly operational delays. It's a system desperately in need of an upgrade.
Which brings us to Section 1, Introducing YardOS and Digitizing Physical Operations.
Okay, let's dive into this. So how do we actually solve that intense friction we just talked about? Well, we use a primary solution built explicitly to eliminate it. YardOS is essentially the operational control tower for modern logistics. Its core mission? To transform those messy, unpredictable physical yard operations into a highly unified, real-time digital workflow. It's actually really fascinating. Think of it as an operating system that takes everything happening out in the dust and noise of the physical yard and mirrors it perfectly on a digital screen. It brings absolute clarity and control right to the teams running the facility.
Moving into Section 2, the vehicle life cycle, or a day in the life of a truck.
So, to see exactly how this digital mirror works in practice, let's look at a vehicle's journey. We'll follow it right from the moment it hits the gate all the way to its exit. It all starts at the perimeter. Step 1. The vehicle arrives at the facility. Now, instead of a driver handing over a stack of smudged paper manifests, Step 2 introduces digital registration. Gate operators use the platform to digitally capture the truck's vital details, take any necessary photos, and input key operational data instantly. And the very moment they do that, Step 3 kicks in. The system instantly updates the vehicle's lifecycle status to Gate in real time. From that exact second, the truck isn't some physical mystery anymore. It's a tracked, visible, digital asset inside the system.
Once the truck is inside, the magic of spatial awareness takes over immediately. Through an interactive yard map, dispatchers suddenly have complete live visual confirmation of where every single vehicle is located across the entire yard. No more guessing, no more frantically calling someone on a static-filled radio. They can instantly monitor parking utilization, see exactly which specific docks are occupied, check active queues in real time, and quickly spot congestion zones before they snowball into major bottlenecks.
But the absolutely crucial point here is what the system actually does with that spatial data. It doesn't just show you the yard, it manages it. The platform uses AI to handle dock assignments, automatically recommending the absolute best available dock or parking slot. And it removes human guesswork entirely by basing this decision on 3 strict logic parameters: real-time availability, current queue length, and overall operational priority. The computer just does the complex math instantly, ensuring the absolute most efficient flow of traffic possible.
And that brings us to Section 3, Managing Real-World Disruptions and Handling the Unexpected.
Because, let's be honest, anyone who has worked in logistics knows that reality rarely sticks to the plan. The true test of any operational system is its agility when things inevitably go wrong. Just look at these common yard disruptions. Maybe a dock gets blocked by debris or a clumsy maneuver. A vehicle breaks down right in the middle of a vital thoroughfare, or loading gets delayed because a forklift battery suddenly dies. These are frustrating everyday incidents that happen literally all the time. In a traditional yard relying on analog tools, just one of these events causes a massive cascading delay that totally wrecks the schedule for the entire day.
But within a digitized environment, we use digital incident workflows.
Instead of panicking, shouting on radios, and scrambling to manually redraw the schedule on a whiteboard, operations teams can immediately respond to these disruptions using structured digital paths. A block dock is flagged in the system, the AI instantly recalculates, and incoming trucks are automatically rerouted to alternative bays. The workflow essentially manages the chaos so the human teams don't have to.
Section 4. The macro view. Data, KPIs, and conversational AI. Let's move to and see how this builds as we zoom out from the individual truck up to the high-level executive dashboard.
So, we've looked at the ground level and the daily disruptions. Now we're looking at the big picture data. Here we see what's known as the YardOS Control Tower. This is a real-time operational dashboard, providing facility managers with instant actionable metrics across the entire yard. On one side, you've got live KPIs and turnaround analytics, meaning exactly how long trucks are taking to get in and out. On the other side, you have vital SLA tracking and utilization metrics. This means leadership can measure the exact health of the facility minute by minute. They can suddenly spot trends and inefficiencies that would have been completely invisible, buried in yesterday's paperwork.
But here's a vital question, and one you should honestly always ask when dealing with enterprise software. How do non-technical staff quickly access all of this complex data? I mean, it's great for an analyst sitting in an office, but what about the shift supervisor standing out on the tarmac wearing heavy gloves and a high-vis vest? They absolutely do not have time to navigate 5 layers of drop-down menus.
To solve this, the platform introduces conversational AI. A worker can simply pull up the chat interface on a tablet or phone and ask a direct, natural question, just like this: which docks are free?
And instantly, the AI processes that natural language, scans the real-time digital twin of the yard, and replies, Dock 4 and Dock 7 are currently available. It completely eliminates the need to navigate complex dashboards, read a manual, or sit through hours of software training just to find a basic operational answer.
But the AI isn't just for basic status checks, right? It has deep access to the system's analytics. A manager can type a slightly more complex prompt asking, which vehicles exceeded SLA, referring, of course, to service level agreements, those strict time limits set for unloading cargo.
This is where the system gets really impressive. The AI immediately responds, 3 vehicles have exceeded unloading SLA by more than 30 minutes, and this brilliantly illustrates how democratized access to data instantly flags critical delays for the team. It allows them to intervene right then and there, rather than, discovering the failure in some report at the end of the week.
Ultimately, the goal here is profound: orchestrating real-world logistics operations as effectively as enterprise software development workflows. By transforming a dusty, chaotic, physical yard into a trackable, manageable digital space, YardOS completely removes the friction that slows down global trade. And it forces us to ask a really exciting question. If we can bring this level of absolute digital orchestration to heavy analog logistics, what other archaic physical industries out there are just waiting to be completely revolutionized? Definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning.